afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Please permit me to stand on the existing protocol. My pioneer mandate secretary, distinguished Auntie Dayo, she's popularly known as Auntie Dayo.
Yes.
Everywhere she goes, she tends to bring me out, guys. So, first of all, I want to appreciate her. In fact, she has been the key of our outing as traditional ruler's wife. Just as we are saying, culture had brought us to the back. Culture had taken us to the background. Hardly would you say traditional wife coming out like this in the afternoon. But with the renewed hope, initiative that wants to work with the grassroots. And we have to thank Her Excellency, Senator Oluremi, the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, for her ideas. With that, she found me, and since then we've been moving together. So let me leave that aside. Time will come when we will say that. Let me just say the story which you said. Actually, I was born into an Islamic home. I grew up. My grandfather was a royal father who died in 1969 when I was about doing my WAEC. And immediately I finished, the problem was there that an auntie of mine found out that I was going to get married. So she told me the story. I said, why? My mates are going for HSC. Why marry? And I passed very well. Why? So she said, no, if you don't want marriage, just run with me. Then she was working in GTTS, Technical School at Ilorin. So I was very small stature then. So what she did was that I know I would be the one to carry her bag when she was going to the motor park. So she hid me under the chair, under the seat. It was then Gongoro. In fact, then I arrived in London. She took me to our elder who is representing our area, that I should stay there. He was then the SMG. No, sorry, before he became the SMG, he was the permanent provincial secretary then, or permanent secretary, natural resources. I was in the house because where she was staying, just one room, she couldn't keep me. Said to you want to go to school? The man interviewed me. I said, yes, I really want to go to school. I don't want to get married. And that was how I found myself in School of Nursing and Midwifery. It was for an interview with the permanent secretary health then. They were looking for two representatives from each local government. And my own local government, nobody. In my place, education does not matter anyhow to the girls. The girls were found to be married. Don't think that they will allow you to go to school to increase or so. That was what happened to me. And when I found myself in Ilorin, I said, I will go. Whatever course they give me, I will go. So they now took me to the PASEF for an interview. And I went to School of Midwifery, which is by profession today. I'm a nurse midwife by profession. I got married after my midwifery 2.5 years because my father promised that wherever you run to, you still come back and meet that man. There's no any other man. So I still came back and I was married to the same man. Actually, he was lovely and he promised that I would continue my education, which I never did until after 4 children. So that's how it was. After all, I got the education, the little one which I'm able to push on. And unfortunately, he died and left us. After the death, don't expect, I was talking on behalf of widows at Addis Ababa and US. Because the widows, to tell them that I went through the shoes of painful widowship. I was a widow for 15 years. And because all my children are girls, nobody even asks where we are, what we're doing, what we're feeding on. I'm saying it loud. If any of my in-laws are here, they should come out. Nobody. I had to fight it alone. And my father told me, I said, look here, now that your husband is late, if you used to tie 2 wrappers, make it 1. I said, no, Baba, we used to tie 1 now. But if it's 2, you want to dress like a duo. So you say, no, that's not what I'm saying. Your children must go to school. Now Baba realized that school is very important. So I had to pull the whole Bible. I said, look, this is a project before me. And I have to make sure that this project, I carry it alone. And the children, that's why I said I was a widow for 15 years, making sure that these children went to school. And yes, they all went to school. My first daughter graduated as an engineer. She had her PhD, she was about an associate prof when she died about 2 years ago. Suddenly, the hands of cancer took her away. She was supposed to present her speech at Ostra. And the day we were doing the 3 days prayer, that was the day the speech was being presented there. Unfortunately, that's the way God has ordained us. The second one also, they're working, they all have master's degree, except for the last one, we're just doing her own. The second one too is pursuing her PhD. Because I made it a rule in my house that no girl talks about any marriage until after the first degree. Yes. And today they are all married. They are happy and happy. They are all happy. So that's it. Leadership is not a disease. We will all sit down, make sure that you carry your book. Don't wait for anybody. And that's why I went into all these organizations. For one, I was Widows Association of Nigeria, Women in Nigeria, whatever association. I was just keeping myself busy. And my husband's friend was a pastor then. Came on one day and saw me on the television receiving one mudu of rice by Miss late Mrs. Afakria at Kogi. He came and was annoyed and said, "How come here? What are you looking for there?" I pretended I didn't know. I said, like, what is it? He said, I said, please don't shout. Oma, don't shout. Let's go. What is it? He said, I saw you on the television. What are you doing? I said, it's a fact that called all widows now. He said, are you a widow? I said, what am I? What am I? When you became pastor, you called me to your office in the presence of people and gave me one bundle of 20 naira, which is 2,000. You think I'll be feeding on that 2,000 till today? I will follow this factory that one bundle of rice is okay for me. Maggi too. Salt. We solved our problem for that day. That was how he left. Of course, nobody asked of us. So why are you coming and say, why am I appearing it? As if they come again 100 times, I will go there and I will appear on the TV. So widowhood is not a disease. So I call on the people here, please, we women will have to be up and doing. The cultural display which was done now, everything about culture is there. Starting from the girl child education that was the threat, to rape, to taboo traditional practices, everything was implicated in this drama, which we all learned today. It's unfortunate that it's the same way women, the men use to aid punishment on us again. It's so unfortunate. The men will sit back. It's the women they will use. Go and scrape her hair when the mother died. Go and prepare the dead body's water for her to drink. Women, that's why my sister has said we should rise. The women should rise. We should be able to rise against all this. When we are called, we should be able to tell them. And that's why in the traditional institution today, we all have face faces and we made it sure because each time rape case is taken to the palaces, they are swept under the carpet. They will come on the basis of a relationship and it dies there. Even when it gets to the police too will hide them if they are being bribed. But we said no more to rape, no more to gender-based violence. Even my husband battalion was part of this. So that's the story so far for that. On behalf of our other women, we said no more to rape, no more to gender-based violence, and no more to battery. We are going to rise in Africa, rise in Abuja, FCT, rise in Nigeria, and rise in Africa and the whole world.